Captain Lee Daeho stood at the bridge window of his ship, the Silent Thunder. He watched the massive space station called Nexus Prime grow larger as they got closer. The station was huge, bigger than any city on Earth. Its metal walls sparkled, with lights from 1,000 different alien ships docked around it. "Captain, we are getting close to the docking bay," said Lieutenant Han So-young from her seat at the communications panel. Her voice was calm, but Lee could hear the nervousness underneath. This was the biggest day in human history. "Good work, Han. Take us in slowly," Lee replied. He turned to look at his crew. These were the best people Earth had to offer. Commander Kim Tae-won sat at the tactical station, his hands ready on the controls. Dr. Park So-min was reading data on her screen about the alien species they would meet today. The Silent Thunder was not the biggest ship humans had ever built, but it was special. From the outside, it looked like a normal military escort ship. It was about 200 meters long, with basic weapons and shields, nothing that would scare the aliens who had been traveling through space for thousands of years. "Docking complete, Captain," Han reported. "Ambassador Choi is ready to go to the meeting." Lee nodded. Ambassador Choi Ji-hai was already waiting by the airlock. She wore her best diplomatic uniform and carried a briefcase with Earth's application to join the Galactic Council as a full member. For 15 years, humans had been treated like children in the galaxy. Today, that would change. The airlock opened with a soft hiss. Lee followed the ambassador through the corridors of Nexus Prime. The walls were made of some kind of crystal that glowed with soft blue light. Aliens of different shapes and sizes walked past them. Some looked like giant insects. Others were just balls of energy floating in the air. They reached the council chamber. It was enormous, with seats arranged in circles going up toward the ceiling. In the center was a platform where Ambassador Choi would speak. Lee took his place in the observation area, where he could watch everything but stay quiet. The first aliens to speak were the Velthari. They looked like walking crystals, tall and sharp. Their leader, Admiral Kextar, stood up from his seat. His crystal body reflected the chamber lights as he spoke. "We are here to listen to the humans," Kextar said. His voice sounded like breaking glass. "Though I do not know why we waste our time. Humans have been in space for only a few decades. We Velthari have fought wars among the stars for 10,000 years. Murmurs of agreement came from other alien seats. Lee felt his hands clench into fists, but he kept his face calm. Ambassador Choi stepped onto the platform. "Thank you for this chance to speak," she began. "Humanity asks to become full members of the Galactic Council. We want to help protect the galaxy and share our knowledge with all species." A new voice spoke up. It came from the Mordak section. The Mordak were strange aliens with big heads and gray skin. They could speak with their minds instead of their mouths. Protect the galaxy? The voice belonged to Elder Veshinal. She did not open her mouth, but everyone could hear her thoughts. "Humans cannot even protect their own planet from pollution and wars. What protection can you offer us?" More aliens laughed. The sound was horrible, crystals breaking, energy crackling, and weird alien noises Lee had never heard before. Dr. Park leaned close to Lee. "The readings are showing high levels of amusement from all species," she whispered. "They think this is funny." Ambassador Choi kept talking. "Humans may be new to space, but we learn quickly. We have already created new technologies that could help everyone." "New technologies?" This time, it was a Zephron who spoke. The Zephron were beings made of pure energy, floating in containment suits. "Show us these amazing human technologies." On the big screen above the platform, images of human ships appeared. The aliens saw Earth's battleships, carriers, and destroyers. To human eyes, they looked powerful and advanced. To the aliens, they looked like toys. Admiral Kextar laughed. Sound like a mountain falling down. "These metal boxes are your warships? My personal fighter craft could destroy 10 of them." "The design is so simple," added Elder Veshinal. "No quantum shields, no plasma cannons, no dimensional drives. It is like they are still using stone tools." The Zephron delegate made a sound like electricity crackling. "We have seen more advanced technology in our museums. This is what species used 1,000,000 years ago." Lee watched Ambassador Choi's face. She was trying to stay calm, but he could see the hurt and anger in her eyes. She had worked for years to prepare for this moment. "Perhaps you would like to see our ships in action?" Choi asked. The chamber fell quiet for a moment. Then Elder Veshanal's mental voice filled the air again. "You mean a demonstration? A test of your military power?" "Yes," Choi said firmly. "If you doubt our abilities, let us prove them." Admiral Kextar stood up to his full height, which was almost 3 meters tall. "Very well, human. We accept your challenge. But know this, when your ships are destroyed, your application will be denied forever." The Zephyron delegate floated forward. "We will each send a fleet, 50 Velthari destroyers, 30 Mordak cruisers, and 25 Zephyron energy ships. That is 105 vessels total." "And how many ships will Earth send?" asked Elder Veshanal. Ambassador Choi looked up at the observation area where Lee was sitting. Their eyes met for a moment. Lee gave her a tiny nod. "1 ship," Choi said. The chamber exploded with alien laughter. It was so loud that the crystal walls shook. Some aliens were laughing so hard they fell out of their seats. "1 ship against 105? Admiral Kextar could barely speak through his laughter. "This will be the shortest battle in galactic history. The human species will be remembered for this moment." Elder Veshanal's thoughts were full of cruel amusement. "The day they destroyed themselves with their own pride." Lee stood up. Even though he was not supposed to speak, he could not stay quiet anymore. "We accept your challenge," he said in a loud, clear voice. "1 human ship against your fleets." The laughter stopped. All the aliens looked at him. "And who are you, human?" asked Admiral Kextar. "Captain Lee Dae-ho of the Earthship Silent Thunder," Lee replied. "I will command the vessel in this demonstration." Dr. Park was looking at her screen with wide eyes. She leaned close to Lee again. "Captain, their biometric readings show complete confidence. They actually believe this will be easy." Commander Kim touched his earpiece. "Captain, I am getting a message from Earth Fleet Command. Admiral Yang wants to speak with you." Lee nodded. The demonstration was approved. Earth's most advanced ship would finally show what humans could really do. Elder Veshanal's voice filled his mind. "Captain Lee, you seem very calm for someone about to die." Lee smiled. It was not a nice smile. "Elder Veshanal, you seem very confident for someone who has never fought humans before." The alien delegates began making plans for the battle. They would meet at the asteroid field near Nexus Prime in 6 hours. News of the challenge spread quickly through the station and across the galaxy. Alien news networks started taking bets on how quickly the human ship would be destroyed. As Lee walked back to his ship, he heard aliens talking about the brave but stupid humans and their suicide mission. Some aliens were already planning victory celebrations. Back on the Silent Thunder, Lee called his crew together. "You all heard what happened in there," he said. "They think we are weak. They think our technology is primitive. They think one of their fighters could destroy 10 of our ships." The crew was quiet, waiting. "In 6 hours, we are going to show them what humans are really capable of," Lee continued. "Chief Engineer Bay, are all systems ready?" Engineer Bay Min-ho grinned. "Yes, sir. We have been waiting years for this chance. The real systems are ready to go online." "Dr. Park, what do you think about their confidence levels?" "Extreme overconfidence, Captain," Park replied. "They have no idea what they are facing. Their tactical analysis is based on what they can see, not what is really there." Lee looked out at the alien fleets gathering in the distance. Hundreds of ships, each one more advanced than anything Earth was supposed to have. The aliens were so sure of their victory that some of them were already celebrating. "Commander Kim, send a message to all alien commanders," Lee ordered. "Tell them we will be there in 6 hours. Tell them to bring their best ships." "Yes, sir," Kim replied. "Should I mention that we are looking forward to the fight?" "No," Lee said quietly. "Let them think we are scared. Let them think we are desperate. In 6 hours, they will learn the truth about humans." The Silent Thunder undocked from Nexus Prime and moved toward the asteroid field. Behind them, the alien fleets followed like a pack of hunters chasing wounded prey. They had no idea that they were about to become the hunted. The asteroid field near Nexus Prime looked like a graveyard of broken planets. Huge rocks floated in the darkness, some as big as moons. This was where the great battle would happen. Captain Lee Daeho stood on the bridge of the Silent Thunder, watching the alien fleets arrive. "Captain, we are getting communications from Earth Fleet Command," said Lieutenant Han So-young. Her fingers moved quickly over her controls. "Admiral Yang Hyun-soo wants to speak with you directly." The main screen flickered, and Admiral Yang's face appeared. He was an older man with gray hair and serious eyes. Behind him, Lee could see the command center on Earth, with dozens of officers watching the situation. "Captain Lee," Admiral Yang said, "the whole galaxy is watching this demonstration. How do you feel about the odds?" 105 to 1, sir," Lee replied. "I have faced worse odds before." Admiral Yang smiled. "That is what I wanted to hear. Remember, Captain, you are not just representing Earth today. You are showing every alien species what humans can really do." "Understood, sir. We will not disappoint you." "I know you will not," Yang said. "One more thing, Captain. Today is the day we stop hiding what we are capable of. Make them remember this moment forever." The communication ended. Lee turned to look at his crew. Commander Kim Tae-won was checking the weapon systems. Dr. Park So-min was studying the alien fleet formations on her screen. Chief Engineer Bae Min-ho was working at a control panel that looked different from the others. Newer, more advanced. Engineer. "Bae!" Lee called out. "How are the special modifications?" Bae looked up with a big smile. "All systems are ready, Captain. We have been testing them for 3 years, but this is the first time we get to use them in a real situation. The aliens have no idea what they are about to see." Dr. Park turned from her screen. "Captain, I have been analyzing their fleet formations. The Velthari ships are spreading out in attack formation. The Mordak vessels are staying together in a defensive group. The Zephron energy ships are moving around the edges trying to surround us." "What does that tell us about their tactics?" Lee asked. "They are not working together?" Park replied. "Each species is using their own battle plans. They are confident that their individual fleets are strong enough to win alone. This gives us an advantage." Commander Kim looked up from his station. "Captain, the alien fleets are sending us communications. They want to know if we are ready to begin." "Put them on the main screen," Lee ordered. The screen split into 3 parts. On the left was Admiral Kexitar, the crystal alien leader. His sharp face reflected the lights of his bridge. In the middle was Elder Veshinal, the gray-skinned, Mordak with the big head. On the right was the Zephron delegate, a ball of energy floating in a containment suit. "Human Captain," Admiral Kexitar spoke first. "We are ready to begin this demonstration. Are you prepared to surrender when you realize you cannot win?" "There is no shame in admitting defeat early," Elder Veshinal added. Her thoughts felt cold and superior in Lee's mind. "We do not wish to destroy you completely." The Zephran delegate made crackling sounds. "We have placed bets on how long your ship will last. The highest bet is 30 seconds. Most think it will be less." Lee smiled calmly. "Gentlemen, ladies, honored delegates, we are ready to begin whenever you are. But I have one question. Are you sure you brought enough ships?" The aliens looked confused for a moment. Then they started laughing again. "Enough ships?" Admiral Kexitar could barely speak. "Human? We brought more ships than your entire planet has ever built. Perhaps we should bring more." Elder Veshinal's mental voice was full of sarcasm. "We would not want this to be unfair." Lee's smile grew wider. "No, I think what you brought will be perfect. Let us begin." The communications ended. The 3 alien fleets moved into position around the asteroid field. The Velthari destroyers spread out in a wide circle, their crystal hulls glowing with weapon energy. The Mordak cruisers formed a tight group, their dark ships barely visible against the black space. The Zephron energy vessels danced around, the edges like deadly fireflies. "Lieutenant Han," Lee called out, "are you receiving the galactic news broadcasts?" "Yes, sir," Han replied. "Every news network in the galaxy is covering this battle. They are calling it the human folly and the shortest war ever. Some networks are taking bets on how we will be destroyed." Dr. Park shook her head. "Their arrogance is incredible. They truly believe this will be easy." "Good," Lee said quietly. Let them believe it. Engineer Bay walked over to a special control panel near the captain's chair. It was covered with switches and buttons that glowed with soft blue light. Captain, should I start bringing the real systems online? Not yet, Lee replied. Let them make the first move. Let them think they are winning. On the tactical display, the alien ships were moving closer. The Silent Thunder sat in the middle of the asteroid field, looking small and helpless compared to the massive alien fleets surrounding it. Commander Kim studied his screens. Captain, they are powering up their weapons. Energy readings are off the charts. If those were real attacks, they could destroy a normal ship in seconds. But this is not a normal ship, is it, Commander? Lee asked. No, sir. It definitely is. Not. The alien attacks began. Bright beams of energy shot through space toward the Silent Thunder. Crystal spears fired by the Velthari, dark matter bombs from the Mordak, and pure energy blasts from the Zephron. The space around the human ship exploded with light and fire. Direct hits, shouted Admiral Kextar over the communication channel. The human ship is taking damage. The Silent Thunder shook and rolled from the impacts. Sparks flew from some control panels. Warning lights flashed red. Hull breaches on decks 4 and 7, Commander Kim reported, playing his part perfectly. Shields down to 60%. Lee grabbed onto his chair as the ship shook again. Evasive maneuvers. Get us out of here. The Silent Thunder turned and flew deeper into the asteroid field, dodging between the huge rocks. The alien fleets followed, their weapons firing constantly. More explosions lit up the darkness. The humans are running! Elder Veshinal's thoughts were full of satisfaction. Just as we predicted, they cannot face real warriors. This is almost too easy, the Zephron delegate said. Perhaps we should end this quickly and put them out of their misery. But Dr. Park was watching her instruments carefully. Captain, their tactical analysis is exactly what we expected. They think we are helpless. Perfect, Lee said softly. Engineer Bay, begin Phase 1. Bay's hands moved over the special control panel. Phase 1. Initiating, sir. Stealth systems coming online. The Silent Thunder suddenly vanished. On the alien ships, alarms started ringing. Officers shouted in confusion. The human ship had simply disappeared from all their sensors. Where did they go? Admiral Kextar demanded. Find them! Scanning all frequencies, an alien officer reported. No contact, no energy signature, nothing. Elder Veshinal's mental voice was no longer confident. This is impossible. Ships cannot just vanish. Maybe they were destroyed completely, suggested the Zephyron delegate, but there was doubt in the crackling voice. The alien fleets stopped moving. They floated in space, searching frantically for any sign of the human ship. Their advanced sensors found nothing. It was as if the Silent Thunder had never existed. Inside the invisible ship, the crew was calm and focused. The stealth systems were working perfectly. All alien fleets have stopped their advance, Commander Kim reported. They are scanning randomly. No lock on our position. Weapon systems are ready, announced a junior officer. Communication arrays are active, said Lieutenant Han. We can speak to them whenever you want, Captain. Lee stood up from his chair. Open a channel to all alien ships. Channel open, sir. Lee's voice echoed through space, reaching every alien vessel. But they could not see where it was coming from. Alien commanders, Lee said calmly. Are you looking for us? The alien bridges erupted in panic. Officers ran back and forth, checking their instruments. How could they hear the human captain but not see his ship? This is impossible, Admiral Kextar shouted. No stealth technology is this advanced. Where are you, human? Elder Veshinal's mental voice was sharp with fear. Show yourselves, Lee laughed softly. We are right here. You just do not know how to look for us. Dr. Park leaned close to the captain. Their stress levels are rising rapidly. This is not going the way they planned. Good, Lee replied. Let them worry. Engineer. Bay, how long can we maintain stealth? Indefinitely, sir, Bay answered. We are only using 15% of our total power. The real systems have not even started yet. The Silent Thunder moved silently through the asteroid field like a ghost. The alien fleets tried to follow, but they were shooting at shadows. Their weapons hit nothing but empty space and floating rocks. "This is not possible," the Zephyron delegate said. "Our energy sensors should detect any ship within 1,000 kilometers." "Maybe they have some kind of new technology," suggested an alien officer. "Impossible," Admiral Kextar insisted. "Humans are primitives. They cannot have technology better than ours." But deep down, all the aliens were starting to realize something was very wrong. This was not the easy victory they had expected. The human ship was not only surviving, it was completely invisible to their most advanced sensors. The alien fleets were in chaos. Ships moved in all directions, trying to find the invisible human vessel. Their weapons fired at empty space, hitting nothing but asteroids and each other. Captain Lee Dae-ho watched from the bridge of the Silent Thunder as another Velthari destroyer spun helplessly through space, its engines destroyed by a precise shot from his ship's weapons. That made 5 alien ships disabled in the last hour, and the aliens still had no idea where the attacks were coming from. "Captain," Dr. Park So-min called from her station, "I am reading panic levels across all alien ships. Their heart rates and stress hormones are much higher than normal." "Good," Lee replied. "Fear makes people make mistakes. Commander Kim, what is our status?" Commander Kim Tae-wan looked up from his tactical display. "All stealth systems working perfectly, sir. No alien sensor has detected us even once. Our weapons are operating at minimal power, but they are still more than enough to disable their ships." Chief Engineer Bae Min-ho walked over to the captain's chair. "Sir, we are still only using basic systems. Should I start bringing the advanced weapons online?" "Not yet," Lee said. "Let them think this is all we can do. When they realize how outmatched they are, then we will show them the real power." On the main screen, they could see Admiral Kextar's ship. The crystal alien was shouting orders at his crew, but his voice sounded different now. The confidence was gone, replaced by frustration and growing fear. "Spread out more," Kextar ordered. "Use quantum scanners. Use gravity detectors. Find that human ship." Elder Veshinal's mental voice reached across space to all the alien ships. "This technology should not exist. How can they hide from our minds? We should be able to sense any living creature." The Zephyron delegate's energy form flickered with anger. "Our energy sensors are the most advanced in the galaxy. Nothing should be able to hide from us. Nothing." Lieutenant Han So-young turned from her communication station. "Captain, the galactic news networks are going crazy. They are calling this the most shocking battle in galactic history. Some alien species are demanding to know what kind of technology we are using." Lee smiled. "Tell them they are seeing standard human military equipment." "Standard equipment?" Han looked surprised. "Should I really say that?" "Yes, it is the truth." Dr. Park shook her head in amazement. "Captain, if this is standard, what do our advanced ships look like?" "You will find out soon enough, Doctor," Lee replied. Another alien ship appeared on their tactical display. This one was a Mordak cruiser, moving slowly through the asteroid field. Its dark hull was covered with sensor arrays, all of them scanning desperately for any sign of the human ship. "Target acquired," Commander Kim reported. "Mordak cruiser, 2,000 meters ahead." "Disable it," Lee ordered. The Silent Thunder fired again. A thin beam of energy struck the Mordak cruiser's main power core. The alien ship's lights went out and it drifted silently through space. "Another one down," Kim said. "The aliens are starting to group their ships together. They think staying close will protect them." "Let them group up," Lee said. "It will make our job easier." The alien fleets were indeed moving closer together. The Velthari destroyers formed a tight circle with their weapons pointing outward. The Mordak cruisers clustered around their command ship, trying to use their combined sensors to find the human vessel. The Zephyron energy ships danced around the others, their forms flickering with nervous energy. "Human captain!" Admiral Kextar's voice boomed across all communication channels. "Stop hiding like a coward. Face us in honorable battle." Lee nodded to Lieutenant Han, who opened a reply channel. "Admiral Kextar," Lee said calmly, "we are facing you. You just cannot see us. Is this not the same thing your people do when they hunt? Do you stand in the open and announce yourselves to your prey? This is different," Kextar shouted. "This is war, not hunting." "No, Admiral," Lee replied. "This is exactly hunting, and you are the prey." Elder Veshinal's mental voice cut through the communication. You cannot hide forever, human. Eventually you will make a mistake. Elder Veshnal, Lee said, we have been making mistakes for the last hour. You just have not noticed them. The alien leaders fell silent. What did the human mean? What mistakes? Dr. Park looked at her captain with admiration. That was a perfect psychological attack, sir. Now they will doubt everything they think they know. Captain, Engineer Bay called out, should I prepare the transformation sequence? Lee considered this. They had disabled 15 alien ships without taking any damage. The demonstration was working perfectly. But it was time to show the aliens something that would really shock them. Begin preliminary transformation, Lee ordered, but keep the stealth field active. Bay's hands moved over his special control panel. Deep inside the Silent Thunder, systems that had been sleeping for years began to wake up. The ship's hull started to change in ways that the aliens could not see. Commander Kim checked his instruments. Sir, the aliens are trying a new tactic. They are firing randomly in all directions, hoping to hit us by accident. The space around them lit up with weapons fire. Energy beams and missiles flew everywhere. Some shots came very close to the Silent Thunder, but the ship's advanced shields deflected them easily. Their tactic is working, Kim reported. One shot just missed us by 50 meters. Let them think they are getting close, Lee said. Han, open a channel to all ships. Channel open, sir. Alien commanders, Lee announced. You are getting warmer. That last shot almost hit us. This was a lie, but the aliens did not know that. The news made them fire even more frantically. Soon the entire asteroid field was filled with deadly energy blasts. We almost got them, the Zephyron delegate shouted. Keep firing. Saturate the entire area. But the random firing was making the aliens hit each other. A Velthari destroyer took a direct hit from a Mordak cruiser. Two Zephyron energy ships collided while trying to avoid friendly fire. Stop shooting, Admiral Kextar commanded. You are hitting our own ships. The weapons fire stopped, but the damage was done. The alien fleets had lost more ships to their own weapons than to the humans. Elder Veshinal's mental voice was full of frustration. This is madness. How can one primitive ship defeat our combined fleets? Maybe their ship is not as primitive as we thought, suggested a Mordak officer. Impossible, Kextar snapped. We have seen their technology. It is centuries behind ours. Lee decided it was time to reveal a little more. Engineer Bay, drop stealth for 5 seconds. Let them see us. Yes, sir. The Silent Thunder appeared suddenly in the middle of the alien formation. For 5 seconds, every alien sensor locked onto the human ship. They saw it clearly, a simple metal vessel with basic weapons and plain armor. Then it vanished again. There, Admiral Kextar shouted. We saw it. It is just a normal ship. How is it doing this? The aliens were more confused than ever. The ship they had seen looked exactly like the primitive human vessels they had been shown earlier. There was nothing special about it. No advanced technology was visible. No unusual weapons or shields. Captain, Dr. Park said quietly, their confusion levels are reaching maximum. They cannot understand what they are seeing. Perfect, Lee replied. Now they will be ready for the real surprise. He turned to Engineer Bay. How long until transformation is complete? Another 30 minutes for full transformation, sir. But we can begin revealing individual systems now. Do it. Start with the weapons. Bay pressed a series of buttons. Inside the Silent Thunder, weapon systems that had been hidden for years started to emerge from secret compartments. The ship's hull began to shift and change, revealing gun ports that had been invisible before. Commander Kim, Lee ordered, target the largest Velthari ship. Full power shot. Sir, that will disable their entire fleet command ship. I know. The Silent Thunder fired. But this time the weapon beam was different. Instead of the thin beams they had been using, a massive bolt of energy shot out from the invisible ship. It struck Admiral Kexatar's command vessel and completely shut down every system on board. The alien fleets stared in shock. The power of that single shot was more than all their weapons combined. That is impossible, the Zephyron delegate whispered. No ship that small could generate that much energy. Elder Veshinal's mental voice was shaking. What are they? What kind of technology do they really have? Lee smiled. The aliens were finally starting to understand that they had made a terrible mistake, but they had seen nothing yet. Engineer Bay, he said quietly, begin full transformation sequence. It is time to show them what a real human warship looks like. Bay's hands moved over his controls. Full transformation beginning now, sir. All systems coming online. Deep inside the silent thunder, the ship's true nature began to wake up. What the aliens had seen was just the outer shell, the disguise that hid humanity's real military power. The transformation had begun. The space around Nexus Prime began to change. What had started as a simple demonstration was becoming something the galaxy had never seen before. Captain Lee Dae-ho stood calmly on the bridge of his ship as the transformation began. "Stealth field holding steady," reported Commander Kim Tae-wan. "The aliens still cannot see us, but they are starting to detect energy readings they cannot explain." Chief Engineer Bae Min-ho was working at his special control panel, his fingers moving quickly over buttons that glowed with blue light. "Captain, all hidden systems are coming online. Hull transformation is at 60%. The real ship is starting to show itself." Dr. Park So-min looked up from her instruments with wide eyes. "Sir, the energy readings from our own ship are incredible. If I did not know better, I would think we were powering up a space station, not a frigate." Lee nodded. "That is because we are not a frigate, Doctor. We never were." On the tactical display, the alien fleets were still searching desperately for the invisible human ship. But their sensors were starting to pick up strange readings. Energy signatures that did not match anything in their databases. Gravitational fields that should not exist. Power levels that seemed impossible for such. A small vessel. Admiral Kextar's voice crackled over the communication system. His crystal form was flickering with nervous energy. "All ships, report your sensor readings. What are you detecting?" "Unknown energy source," replied a Velthari destroyer captain. "Power signature is off our charts." "Same here," added a Mordak, cruiser commander. "We are reading gravitational distortions that make no sense." The Zephyrin delegate's energy form was pulsing rapidly. "Our instruments are detecting space-time fluctuations. Whatever the humans are doing, it is affecting reality itself." Elder Veshnal's mental voice reached across the battlefield. "This is impossible. No ship that small could generate these readings. Unless what?" demanded Admiral Kextar. "Unless it is not the ship we think it is." Inside the silent thunder, the transformation was accelerating. Lieutenant Han, So Young, was monitoring communications from across the galaxy. "Captain," she reported, "news networks throughout known space are going silent. Their science advisors cannot explain what they are seeing. Some alien species are calling emergency council meetings." "Let them meet," Lee said calmly. "Engineer Bay, how much longer?" 5 minutes until full transformation, sir." "Should I drop the stealth field when we are ready?" "Yes. It is time for them to see what they are really facing." Dr. Park was studying the alien fleet formations. "Captain, their tactical discipline is breaking down. Ships are moving away from their assigned positions. Some of the smaller vessels are actually trying to leave the battlefield." Commander Kim looked up from his weapons console. "Sir, should I stop them from escaping?" "No. Let them go. Fear is a powerful teacher. Those who run will tell others what they saw here today." The alien fleets were indeed starting to panic. What had begun as a confident attack against a primitive human ship was turning into a nightmare they could not understand. "Admiral," called out a Velthari officer, "request permission to withdraw. Our sensors are showing energy readings that could threaten our entire home fleet." "Denied," Kextar snapped. "We are warriors. We do not run from humans." But his voice was not as confident as before. The crystal alien was starting to realize that something was very wrong with this situation. Elder Veshnal was trying to use her mental powers to scan the area where the human ship should be. But instead of finding a simple frigate, her mind touched something vast and alien. The mental contact sent shockwaves through her consciousness. "By the Ancient Ones," she whispered. "What are they?" The Zephyrin delegate was the first to understand. As beings of pure energy, they were more sensitive to power fluctuations than the other species. "Everyone listen to me," the delegate said urgently. "We need to leave. Now. Right now." "What are you talking about?" Admiral Kextar demanded. "That is not a human frigate," the Zephyrin replied. "I do not know what it is, but it is not what we think. The energy readings are beyond anything we have ever encountered." Deep inside the silent thunder, Engineer Bay was making final preparations. "Captain, Transformation is complete. All systems are online and ready. The ship is prepared to reveal its true form. Lee took a deep breath. This was the moment that would change the galaxy forever. Drop stealth field. Show them what we really are. Bay pressed a final button. The silent thunder appeared in the middle of the alien formation. But the ship that materialized was not the simple frigate the aliens expected. At first, it looked wrong. The hull seemed to be shifting, changing, growing. What had appeared to be a 200-meter escort vessel was expanding before their eyes. "What is happening to their ship?" asked a Mordak officer. "It is getting bigger," replied his captain, his voice full of disbelief. The outer hull of the Silent Thunder was peeling away like the skin of some giant mechanical fruit. Underneath was something completely different. The simple metal walls fell away to reveal a ship that was dark and angular, covered with weapon ports and sensor arrays that had been completely hidden. "That is impossible," Admiral Kextar whispered. But the transformation was not finished. The ship continued to grow. What had looked like a frigate was becoming a cruiser, then a battleship, then something even larger. Hull sections slid apart to reveal hidden compartments filled with weapons. Armor plating unfolded to protect critical systems. Sensor arrays extended from concealed positions. "How big is it going to get?" asked a terrified Velthari pilot. The answer came as the transformation completed. The Silent Thunder had become a massive dreadnought over 2 kilometers long. Its hull was covered with weapons that the aliens did not recognize. Energy crackling along its surface suggested power systems far beyond anything they understood. The alien fleets stared in complete shock. Where a simple human escort ship had been, there was now a vessel larger and more advanced than anything they had ever seen. "This is impossible." Elder Veshinal's mental voice was shaking. "Ships cannot transform like this. Technology cannot work this way." Captain Lee's voice came across all communication channels. It was still calm, still confident. "Alien. Commanders, you are now seeing a standard human military vessel. This is what our escort ships really look like." "Standard?" Admiral Kextar could barely speak. "This is a standard ship?" "Yes. The outer shell you saw before was just protective camouflage. We use it when we travel in alien space, so we do not frighten other species." Dr. Park was monitoring alien biometric readings. "Captain, stress levels across all alien ships are reaching dangerous levels. Some crews are having panic attacks." "This cannot be real," the Zephyrin delegate said. "No species could build technology this advanced and keep it secret." Lee's voice came again. "We have been keeping many secrets. For 15 years you have seen what we wanted you to see. Simple ships, basic technology, primitive weapons. We let you think we were weak because it made you underestimate us." Commander Kim was reading the tactical situation. "Sir, several alien ships are powering down their weapons. Some are requesting permission to surrender." "Not yet, Commander. We are not finished with the demonstration." Engineer Bay looked up from his controls. "Captain, all advanced weapon systems are online. Should I show them what our real firepower looks like?" Lee considered this. The aliens were already terrified, but they needed to understand that this was not just about stealth and transformation. They needed to see what human weapons could really do. "Target the largest asteroid in the field," Lee ordered. "The one that is 5 kilometers across. Destroy it completely." "Sir, that will require our main cannon." "I know." The massive dreadnought turned toward the target asteroid. Along its hull, weapon ports opened to reveal a cannon that was larger than most alien ships. Energy began to build up along its length, creating a glow that was visible from thousands of kilometers away. "What are they doing?" asked a Mordak captain. "I think they are about to show us their real weapons," Elder Veshinal replied. The main cannon fired. The energy beam that shot out was like a miniature star. It struck the 5-kilometer asteroid and completely vaporized it in less than a second. The explosion was so bright that ship computers across the alien fleets automatically darkened their viewing screens to protect their crews' eyes. When the light faded, the asteroid was gone, not broken into pieces, not cracked apart. Completely gone, as if it had never existed. The alien fleets floated in stunned silence. "That asteroid," Admiral Kextar said slowly, "was larger than our biggest battleship. And they destroyed it with one shot," added the Zephyrin delegate. Elder Veshinal's mental voice was barely a whisper. How many ships like this do the humans have? Captain Lee answered her question. This is one ship from our escort fleet. We have thousands of them. Our actual warships are much larger. The alien commanders looked at each other in growing horror. If this massive dreadnought was just an escort ship, what did human battleships look like? We surrender, Elder Veshnal said suddenly. All Mordak ships surrender immediately. As do we, added the Zephyron delegate. We formally request mercy from the human fleet. Admiral Kextar was the last to speak. His crystal form was dim with defeat. The Velthari Empire surrenders. We yield to human military superiority. The massive dreadnought Silent Thunder floated in the asteroid field like a sleeping giant. Around it, the alien fleets waited in complete surrender. Their weapons were powered down, their crews stunned into silence by what they had witnessed. Captain Lee Daeho stood on the bridge of his transformed ship, looking out at the defeated alien forces. In just a few hours, the balance of power in the galaxy had completely changed. Captain, Lieutenant Han So-young reported from her communication station. We are receiving surrender signals from all remaining alien ships. Total count, 91 vessels requesting mercy. And the 14 ships that were disabled earlier? Lee asked. Their crews are asking for rescue assistance. They admit complete defeat. Dr. Park So-min looked up from her instruments. Sir, I am monitoring communications across the galaxy. Every alien species is receiving reports about this battle. The news is spreading faster than anything in galactic history. Commander Kim Tae-won turned from his tactical display. Captain, what should we do with the alien fleets? They are completely helpless. Lee considered this carefully. The demonstration had worked perfectly, but now came the most important part. Showing the aliens that humans were not conquerors but protectors. Open a channel to all ships, Lee ordered. Han pressed her controls. Channel open, sir. Alien commanders, Lee said, his voice calm and steady. You have all surrendered, and we accept your surrender. Your crews will not be harmed. Your ships will not be destroyed. You are free to return to your home worlds. Admiral Kexatar's crystal form flickered with confusion. You are letting us go? Yes. This was a demonstration, not a war. We wanted to show you our capabilities, not destroy you. Elder Veshnal's mental voice was filled with disbelief. You could destroy our entire fleets with ease. Why do you show mercy? Because, Lee replied, humans do not fight for conquest. We fight to protect ourselves and others. Today you learned that we are much stronger than you believed. But strength without wisdom is just brutality. The Zephyron delegate's energy form pulsed slowly. We do not understand. In our experience, the strong always dominate the weak. Then you have much to learn about humans, Lee said. Chief Engineer Bae Min-ho walked over to the captain's chair. Sir, should I begin the reverse transformation? Return us to escort configuration? Not yet, Engineer. I think our alien friends need to see one more thing. Lee turned back to the communication system. Admiral Kextar, Elder Veshnal, honored delegates. You have asked how many ships like this we have. Would you like to see? The alien leaders looked at each other nervously. After everything they had witnessed, they were not sure they wanted to know the answer. Show us, Admiral Kextar said quietly. Lee nodded to Commander Kim. Send the signal. Kim pressed a button on his console. A coded message shot out from the Silent Thunder, traveling through subspace to destinations across the galaxy. What was that? Elder Veshnal asked. A recall signal, Lee replied. We are calling our ships to reveal themselves. At first, nothing happened. The alien fleets waited nervously, wondering what new surprise the humans had prepared. Then ships began to appear. Throughout the solar system, vessels that had looked like harmless merchant ships suddenly dropped their camouflage. Cargo haulers revealed themselves to be cruisers. Transport ships unfolded into destroyers. Even small courier vessels transformed into frigates bristling with weapons. How many? Admiral Kextar whispered. In this system alone? Lee asked. 237 ships. The aliens stared in horror as human warships appeared around every planet, every space station, every trade route. Ships that had been invisible to their sensors for years were suddenly visible everywhere. We have been surrounded, the Zephyrin delegate said in shock. For how long? Since the day you first made contact with Earth, Lee replied. We learned very quickly that the galaxy was a dangerous place, so we made sure we could protect ourselves. Dr. Park was monitoring galactic communications. Captain, reports are coming in from across known space. Human ships are revealing themselves everywhere. The alien governments are realizing that we have been watching them for 15 years. Elder Veshnal's mental voice was shaking. You have been spying on us, learning our weaknesses, planning for war. No, Lee said firmly. We have been learning about you, understanding your cultures, preparing to defend ourselves if necessary. There is a difference. Admiral Kextar's crystal form was dim with defeat. We mocked you. We called you primitives. We believed you were weak, and we let you believe it, Lee replied. It was safer that way. Lieutenant Han looked up from her station. Captain, we are receiving a priority communication from Earth Fleet Command. Admiral Yang wants to speak with you. Put him through. Admiral Yang Hyun-Soo's face appeared on the main screen. Behind him, the Earth Command Center was busy with activity. Captain Lee, Yang said with a smile, I have been watching the battle reports. How did the field test go? Perfectly, sir, Lee replied. All systems performed as expected. The alien leaders were listening to this conversation with growing confusion. Field test? Admiral Kextar asked. Admiral Yang looked at the alien commander. Oh, you are still there. Yes, this was a test of our Mark 7 stealth and transformation systems. Captain Lee's ship is one of our older designs. Older designs? Elder Veshnal's mental voice was barely a whisper. The Mark 7 series is about 5 years old, Yang explained. We have much newer ships now. The Mark Athene vessels are quite impressive. Lee smiled. Admiral, should we show them a Mark Athene? Not today, Captain. I think they have seen enough for now. Yang's image disappeared, leaving the aliens to process what they had just heard. The massive dreadnought that had completely outclassed their combined fleets was 5 years old. Human technology was advancing faster than they could imagine. Captain Lee, Admiral Kextar said slowly, what do you want from us? The same thing we wanted this morning, Lee replied. Full membership in the Galactic Council, military cooperation agreements, peaceful trade relationships. But now you could just take whatever you want, the Zephyrin delegate pointed out. Yes, we could, Lee agreed. But that is not how humans work. We prefer partnership to conquest. Dr. Park looked up from her station. Captain, I am receiving communications from the Galactic Council. They are requesting an emergency session. They want to discuss immediate full membership for Earth. Tell them we accept, Lee said, but the meeting will be held on our terms this time. Commander Kim checked his displays. Sir, the alien fleets are requesting permission to return to their home worlds. They want to report what they have seen. Here. Grant permission. Let them go home. Let them tell their governments what they learned today. As the alien ships began to leave the battlefield, their commanders sent final messages to the Silent Thunder. Captain Lee, Admiral Kextar said, the Velthari Empire will support Earth's membership in the Galactic Council. We apologize for our earlier behavior. Apology accepted, Admiral. We look forward to working with you. Elder Veshnal's mental voice was humble now. The Mordak Collective recognizes human military superiority. We request defensive alliance agreements. We will consider it, Elder. The Zephyrin delegate's energy form pulsed slowly. The Zephyrin Union wishes to learn from human technology. We offer full trade partnerships. We welcome peaceful trade, Lee replied. As the last alien ships disappeared into hyperspace, Lee turned to his crew. Engineer Bay, begin transformation back to escort configuration. Yes, sir. Returning to camouflage mode. The massive dreadnought began to fold in on itself. Weapon ports closed, hull sections retracted, and the advanced systems disappeared, back into hidden compartments. Within an hour, the Silent Thunder looked like a simple escort frigate again. Dr. Park, Lee said, what are you reading from the galactic communication networks? Complete chaos, sir, Park replied with a smile. Every alien government is calling emergency meetings. Military advisors are demanding immediate intelligence updates about human capabilities. Trade ministers are requesting economic cooperation. Agreements. And the news networks? They are calling this the most important day in galactic history. Some are saying it marks the beginning of the human age. Commander Kim looked up from his station. Captain, we are receiving new orders from Earth Fleet Command. We are to escort Ambassador Choi to the Emergency Galactic Council session. Good. But first, let us return to Nexus Prime. I want to see how the aliens treat us now. The Silent Thunder, once again disguised as a simple escort ship, headed back toward the space station. But this time, everything was different. Alien ships moved, carefully out of their way. Traffic control gave them immediate priority clearance. Docking bay supervisors offered their best facilities. As they approached the station, Lieutenant Han reported something interesting. Captain, we are receiving communications from across the galaxy. Dozens of alien species are requesting to meet with Earth representatives. They want to discuss alliance agreements, trade partnerships, and defensive pacts. And what about the species that were not here today? Lee asked. They are asking for demonstrations of their own. They want to see human capabilities firsthand. Lee smiled. I think we will be very busy in the coming months. As the Silent Thunder docked at Nexus Prime, Lee looked out at the alien ships surrounding them.